Hey there, welcome back to New Eyes Open. Showing up again another day for myself, showing up again for you, and encouraging you to show up for yourself, whatever that looks like right now in this season of your life. And yesterday I touched on intention and said that I would come back to it. So I'm going to come back to that today. And one of the things that I think has made the biggest impact in my life is when I really started thinking about intentionally how I want my life to go. And this has been interesting, right? Because sometimes we have this clear vision, so we know what the intention is and where we're headed. And then other times, like maybe after you reach that milestone and you're in this moment of, okay, now what? That's where intention is still comes in and is important, but it shifts from being a thing out there to an inner intention. What do I want my life to feel like? What do I want each day to feel like? One of the things I've mentioned before was that my life was very um, pressurized. It's the word that's coming to mind. So I was striving to do things, and really what that all comes down to is I had a clear intention, but that intention and that vision was set on, it's centered around me being a version of myself that other people expected me to be, not me being the truest version of myself and one that made me feel whole, honestly. Um, and so I worked with a coach in 2020 after, going through the divorce and basically shutting down the first version of New Eyes Open. And really, I was in the space of do I shut it down, as I had a website and a blog and all the things before, or do I pivot and try to make something, try to revive it or make it something different, shift the focus of it. And at the time, here's point two, intuition. My intuition was that I needed to shut it down. And so I did. And the coach that I was working with, one of his frames of reference was like every single thing you do in your life, everything you read, everything you watch, even when it comes to thoughts, like every thought you think, you should be able to tie that, give it a purpose and a meaning in your life. So what is the purpose for doing this thing, watching this thing, saying what I'm about to say, and what is the meaning behind that purpose? And that to me is the true definition of intention, right? Like, what is my intent here? And, when you have a clear vision, that's easy. Like, I'm doing this step to get to, XYZ outcome. And when all of a sudden you're like, I don't know what my vision is, well, that's when I would encourage you to shift to, what are you feeling? And like, even as I say this right now, it's interesting. I think this is a big part of this whole exercise, is as I am speaking to you about something and I start feeling something come up, noticing the dissonance there, right? So there's definitely some resistance coming up as I'm talking about this. And what is that about? I think what it's about is I'm trying to describe a state that I used to live within that was very external outcome, results driven. And I have definitely shifted into the space of internal ease and peace and surrender, really, is what it boils down to. So, my current intention is to be at ease in the unknown and to be able to be at ease in a state of surrender to the process of showing up and doing the thing that my intuition has called me to. Being at ease, showing up for as long as it feels like the right thing to do, and being surrendered enough to be able to pivot and stop showing up in a way that no longer feels congruent with where I'm headed. All that to say, I feel like there's a shift in direction that wants to happen here soon where, I've shown up these past 3 weeks and 2 days now for myself and for you, encouraging you and myself as well as I do it, but encouraging you to show up in this season of life however you feel called to do so. And that, like I said yesterday, was to get the reps in, right? To get the showing up reps in and build the momentum towards like this not being as awkward and me being able to show up. And actually tomorrow I'm going to talk a little bit about where this I was going to say where this came from, but really where this shows up like in my human design chart, and we'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. So that's another thing to go through. But yeah, how comfortable are you with the unknown? Are you so comfortable that when you're called to do the certain thing you're called to do during this season, are you so surrendered and so comfortable with the unknown that when you start feeling, okay, it's time to shift, this is no longer what I'm called to do, or I'm not called to do it in this way, even if you've said you're doing it this certain way, are you okay with pivoting? Are you okay with, are you truly surrendered to where if you're called to do one thing one day, and even if it seems like, in outward, you're being wishy-washy or you're not staying committed to something, I think this is where the hesitation was coming up earlier, because used to, if I said I was committing to something, I'm one of the most loyal, committed people or I'm not. I'm very black or white. And in the past, I made a lot of, not mistakes, I learned a lot of lessons by committing to things because of the excitement in the moment and not fully thinking through the purpose and meaning of those things in my life and whether or not it was a true bodily, yes, I am ready and excited about this thing, or am I just excited in the moment or excited about the opportunity? Because I am an encourager at heart, I'm a coach at heart, and I get really excited about opportunities for other people. And so sometimes when I've been invited into those, I've mistaken the excitement of, this thing that's happening for this other person, and I've just gone with it and committed. Now recently, it's funny, I've had one of the most exciting opportunities in my career lately, and it has it wasn't as exciting, like emotion wise. It didn't feel as exciting in the moment. I even had somebody comment on that, and I was like, well, I feel at peace about it. And so there's been this shift over the last several years of me understanding what excitement for somebody else and their opportunities feels like versus what feels right for me is more of a, it's exciting, but there's an ease to it. It's not this like this intense emotional energy. So I've learned that now when I'm making a true decision based on my heart, my body's response, my truest yes, it feels more like, natural. Like I already knew that's what was going to happen. That's how at ease I am with it. And so that's how I'm learning to navigate things lately. And yeah, to tie this all back up, I guess the intention lately is just to be more connected and live in the moment and follow my my path. And you can't follow your path if you aren't fully tapped in and listening to your intuition. And as I look back, I can see now where even the lessons learned in the past that maybe I would have before looked at and thought, oh, that was a mistake, I shouldn't have done that, or I, even like I just said, I said yes to an opportunity because of the excitement, that really was excitement for the other person, not excitement showing me that I should be part of their thing. Even that was good because you have to go through and learn those lessons before you can get to the other side, the side where you start to recognize your ease, your peaceful presence, and allow it to guide you onto the next step of your journey. And so I think for a long time I got caught up thinking, oh, if it's exciting, then it's a yes for me. And I am learning now, no, if there's some excitement to it, but it's a very easeful flow into me agreeing to it, and there's not the spike of emotion up or down, that is more of a yes for me personally. And it might be different for you. So, yeah, all of that to say, I am still going to be showing up for myself every day, but I'm feeling right now like the video schedule cadence is going to slow to one video a week moving forward. And the reason being, I would like to be more intentional with the videos that I share. And yet at the same time, I know myself and I know that I need the reps. I need to show up and record. So next week, I believe, and I'm just following intuition right now. So the whole theme of this video, in intention and intuition and the dance that they have with one another, right? Next week, I will be showing up a little more strategically and every single day focusing on one particular topic and then posting the best video out of those 5 about that particular topic. And so, or maybe not the best, but the video that I feel most called to post out of the 5 that I record. And so, yeah, because ultimately, this is about me showing up, but it's more so, and I'll talk about this more tomorrow, go into this a little more detail. It's all in service of you and your path, and yes, it's part of my path too, but my path involves you. So, encouraging you to show up for whatever it is in your life you're meant to show up for right now, helping you see that path from a different light. And in particular, I'm feeling very called to speak more to the people who are the high achievers in the world, who had a dream, went after it, achieved it, and then crashed and burned, and now are in this place of, who am I? What do I do next? Walking around in the fog. I'm in this liminal space, and I'm not sure where I'm headed to next. I don't know I don't know where my intuition's taken me, and I don't know what my intention is for the future. Well, welcome. Welcome to the now, my friend. That is really where I have been for the past 2 years and 2.5 years. And just now learning to speak about it comfortably and feel, I want to say comfortable, but honestly, this is not comfortable every day. Getting on here and embracing the unknown, embracing the present moment, and knowing that it's going to be whatever it's meant to be, and whoever is meant to hear these words will arrive at this channel, and the words will resonate, and they'll get what they need from it, because that's really all it is. That's the only reason we show up. It's because we're meant to, is our spark ignites the flame in somebody else and allows their spark to shine a little bit brighter, right? Which makes our world brighter for all of us. I don't know. That's my theory for today, at least. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking with me through all of that. I'd love to hear, what are your thoughts on intention and intuition? Do you feel like you have an intention in life? Do you feel like you're headed somewhere? And how tapped in are you to your intuition? Do you feel like you have access to that? I'd love to hear it. Drop it in the comments below. And if this resonated, if you think it might resonate with someone else you know, like, subscribe, share, all the YouTubey things, so that we can get the message out to more people if you feel so inspired to do so. And if you do, thank you so much. And if you don't, no problem. Either way, I wish you the best, and I wish you well. Until next time, my friend.